Yo, yo, yo! Welcome back to another episode of High Minded with McCarter. I'm your host, McCarter, and I'm also here with my amazing co-host, SK.
Hey, what up? On this episode, we talked to Dani Fontaine. She is a pioneer in the hemp industry, involved with some of the first farms, including the one that created Cherry Wine Genetics.
Yeah, she has her own CBD company. She basically works with all types of hemp, like everything you can do with the plant. I feel like she has her hand in. Like, she talked about hemp genetics and why they matter with getting CBD, CBG, and other cannabinoids out of those strains.
Yeah, hemp-based superconductors.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we talked about how hemp is now being used to make batteries.
Yeah.
It's so revolutionary. Like, it just really enforced to me of why this plant is the future to me.
Absolutely. Yeah, and how it can heal the world.
Yes. And yeah, it's just amazing to talk with her as she feels like she's an advocate and voice for the plant, for the cannabis plant herself. So I think that's really incredible just to speak with someone from that perspective. And I learned so much as always.
Yeah, this episode, I think we both kind of came out, felt like therapy, and that we talked so much about energy and healing and just the beauty of hemp.
Yeah, she brought these really cool Hempcrete samples in that we got to touch and feel, and even put a torch to one for a minute just to show how it's basically they're completely non-flammable or flame retardant.
Flame retardant, yeah.
Is the phrase. And Hempcrete is also antifungal, crack proof.
It can drain, the water can drain through it. So if you're using Hempcrete as concrete, it doesn't crack or anything.
Yeah, replace
concrete.
In place of concrete.
Yeah, instead of. Yeah, that's.
But yeah, it was mind blowing, this episode. I really hope that everyone can take something away that they learned from this episode, and also send it to a friend to learn something. And that would really help us grow.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're trying to build your own house, contact Dani Fontaine on Instagram.
Yes, if you're trying to build your own hempcrete house.
Grow your own house.
Own, yes. So you can actually grow your own hemp.
Yeah, 2 acres of hemp equals 1,000 square feet of house.
There it is.
So
really interesting stuff. So yeah, thank you everyone for listening. This is episode 21. Super excited with how far we've come and all that is to come in the future. And you can always follow along with all of my journey and crazy shenanigans at McCarter Gets High on Instagram. And then our podcast page is at High Minded Pod.
Thanks so much for listening. Enjoy this episode.
Stay high. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of High Minded with McCarter, featuring SK, my co-host.
Hello.
This week, we are talking with Dani Fontaine, the amazing hemp queen. Welcome.
Thank you. Hello.
I am so happy you're here. This is the fifth time trying?
5th. Yeah, maybe even 6th.
Well, welcome again. Can you just start off by saying your life's journey and what led you to cannabis and hemp and what you do now?
Yeah. Okay.
How did you become the hemp queen?
Yes. Well, okay. So I'll get to my story in just a second. I always have to correct people about the queen.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because the plant is the queen.
Oh, you're right.
True.
Okay.
I'm just an offspring.
Yes.
We're just interconnected and stuff.
I love that.
I always like to give, I'm a huge plant person. So I like to give the respect specifically to the cannabis plant because I've worked with her for so long.
I so admire that.
But she's definitely she's the queen. But thank you, though, for that.
Well, you're the princess.
Yes, then. I will definitely take that, for sure. But I've been smoking weed since I was 12. I just have loved it always.
Yep.
I started hustling when I was 16.
No way.
I was raised in New Mexico.
Oh, wow.
And I graduated high school from California. So I moved to California when I was about 14. And I just fortunately had a family that supported my life. Mm-hmm. I didn't really have to have a job or anything. Mm-hmm. So my curious self
found my way into the weed industry.
Sure.
Because I was like, I want money.
Yes.
And I smoke weed. So like, what is going on? I like put the two and two together and I started hustling.
Mm-hmm.
And so, when I'm 20, I got pregnant. I was living in California. I moved to where I had my son, which was in New Mexico. Then I had moved up to Colorado. I'm from Colorado. I was born here.
Oh, okay.
So I've moved around. I came back with my son, established here in 2008. Okay. And in 2008 was actually the year that licenses were just being released for the medical marijuana industry here in Colorado.
Okay. Perfect timing.
Fucking divine.
Divine
timing. Let me just tell you, everything I have done is very divine. That's why I feel very connected. So you just know that everything is divine. Mm. I mean, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing unless we had already had an agreement to do what we are doing. So back in 2008, I got, my dad gave me $500 and a pound of weed.
Wow.
And he was like,
what a good dad.
Great dad. He was like, you should probably go do something professional with your life, meaning go get a license, go make something with the weed industry because I know you're hustling.
Wow.
Actually, I worked with my dad, so he knew exactly what I was doing.
Oh, my gosh.
And so all very family interconnected. And so I went and got a license. I had my mom become my business partner. I got an edible license at the time. And because I was
what age were you at this point?
I was 21.
21. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was 21.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shit.
So this was the year that I had birthed my son. My son was born in May, and I had moved to Colorado, and I applied, and we'd gotten the license. I think it was November, end of December, in 2008.
Wow. So you were one of the first people.
We were the actual second edible license holder in the whole state.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I can't remember who the first was. It was who was it? It was a branch within Mile High Distribution. I can't remember the name of the company, but it was a woman. It was a female.
Okay.
Oh, man, she was around for many years. I don't know what happened to her, but she was really awesome. Really good food, too. But we had the second license, so we started distributing. It was all based on, like, health and nutrition. My mom's a holistic nutritionist.
Okay.
So all of the food was it was conscious of, like, people already being sick to not put more sick things in them.
Right.
Like
so it was sugary.
Yeah. All of our line was more savory. So we did like crackers. We did like salsas. We did different types of like food for people to actually prepare and things like that so they could eat. And then we also did a few sweets, but we did the whole line was more like we did protein bars and things like that.
Wow, that's so smart.
So fast forward to 2012. That was the year that all of the licenses started to really change as far as like legislative and having to team up with other companies that were in business. Like grows had to team up with storefronts and or edible companies had to team up with grows to have this like crossover like track and trace program, which was started in 2012.
Was that with like the 70-30 law or
yes.
whatever?
Okay. Yes. And it was a fucking headache. So my mom and I, we were like over the industry because people are assholes.
Yep.
And we realized that really the people in the beginning of the age, which was 2008 to 2002, they were mostly like hustlers like myself, but they were like pretty intense. Like, I'm good-minded, good-willed.
Yeah.
I'll make sure you have your exact pounds. I'll make sure the money's there type thing. Other people are not.
You're not trying to like cheat
intentioned.
anyone out of anything.
Exactly. But the industry started getting a lot of those people. Mm-hmm. So 2012 was good because it sifted out quite a bit of that.
Oh.
But at that time, my mom and I were like, well, we don't really want to move forward with these people. Let's kind of get out of the industry. And so she was out. She was like, I'm out, sell the company. I fortunately was friends with the owner of Chiba Chews. His name's James.
Oh.
I don't know if he's still the owner. I think he is. But back then, he was the owner. And I made a business deal with him. And he bought three of our recipes.
Oh,
nice.
From my company, which helped us shut down the company and get royalties from what he was producing.
Oh, what a smart idea.
It was a good idea. And we got out of the industry, which was an even better idea because it just was getting very regulatory. And it was just like they were just changing all the time.
Yeah.
And it just, why go through that headache until, like, it would be so much better to go in now.
When things are steady.
When it's steady. Everything's changed. Everything's set. You know, like there was literally a new law
10
almost
years
like
later.
literally. It was like every month it was new things or new regulations or this was being proposed or that. And I was like, fuck. You know, like this is really hard to keep up with.
Right. And now time for a quick commercial break. MJ Arsenal makes small and reliable mini glass rigs and bongs for at home or your next adventure. They also make seasonal rigs. I absolutely love my Valentine's Day set with a champagne spinner cap. It is the cutest pieces, and their less air equals more flavor, so you get more out of your oil. They've also been featured in Forbes, the New York Times, Newsweek, and more. You can check them out at mjarsenal.com and use code McCarterGetsHigh to save.
So I got out of the THC industry. The next year, a good friend of mine, his name's Ryan Laughlin. This was 2013. He went out into his field. He's a farmer. He went out into his field and planted hemp. It was not regulated, but it was not illegal.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
It just was not regulated.
Yeah.
So he went out and he planted, I think it was 10 acres.
Oh, wow.
And was like, fuck you, literally said, fuck you, feds. Come and get me if you want to. Literally said, like, fuck you, feds.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, so he's ballsy. Fuck yeah, Ryan. And so he's out
Sticking
there.
it to the man.
Fight the good fight.
Yeah.
I love that. I have so much respect for that.
He's a fucking awesome dude. And so he's out there doing this. Comes harvest time, nobody shows up. We applied for the license, my dad and I, because it needed to then the next year be regulated. Because they put in regulations because everybody caught on. And they're like, oh shit, this guy's planting hemp. We need to regulate it.
There's 10 acres of hemp right there.
Yeah. So 2014 was the first year that they actually released hemp growing licenses. And that was the first year that my dad and I had. So
wait, is that state or federal?
So federally, it was illegal still.
Okay.
Before the Farm Bill of 2018?
Yes.
Okay.
So we were planting under the state reg.
Okay. So, right, that's where it's like, it's legal, but it's not illegal.
Yeah,
it's not
exactly.
That's why the feds are the ones being tempted.
Right.
And that's why Kentucky couldn't plant 2014 is because they got the seed that they had imported. It was held by the feds.
Oh, okay. From
Our
the
shipment came in.
Commerce.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had the right hustler
Okay.
to hustle the seeds.
Amazing.
That's what hustlers do.
Yes.
Is we have the routes.
They're not going through the proper channels.
They're not going through. Exactly. We go through the proper channels.
Yeah.
So we got our seed and we were the first crop of the whole United States successfully planted and harvested. We only did 2.2 acres. But
wow.
Because nobody knew what we were doing. Nobody knew what the fuck we were doing.
People would drive by and be like, is that weed or?
Yeah. Oh, no. We had people. So this was in Sterling, Colorado, which is out in the middle of nowhere. And even there, we had people driving from all over, coming there, taking pictures, stealing plants from the field. We had to get security at one point because we're like, dude, you guys are stealing our fucking crop. This is hemp. Like, stop stealing our crop.
Yeah.
Like, we'd have, like...
And now they have signs, I know.
Totally.
That it's like, this is hemp. There's no THC.
We had the first sign up because...
Really?
Wow.
More stories to come.
You paved the way.
We paved the way of everything.
Oh, my gosh.
So the first... But okay, so the first harvest we had, it was in 2014, and it was like the first NOCO event. You know what NOCO is?
Yeah. Because I was friends with Kate Curley for a while and knew
Kate and
Morris. Yeah.
So the whole NOCO thing basically started with that because there was nothing prior to that. There was nothing to like celebrate. You know what I'm saying? Like live in person.
Right.
So it was like a live event. And so they picked up that live event basically of ours and started doing events which was awesome because I wasn't going to do that shit. It's way too fucking difficult for me the first year, you know? I was like...
Fending off people trying to take your plants. Like, there's other stuff happening.
There's other shit going on.
Yeah, you can't plan an event.
Yes. Yeah, I can't plan an event. I can't sell things here. So that all went down. That was fantastic. It was a great growing lesson. We had no buyers. There was no industry. We just farmed for fun,
I was going to
basically.
say, what'd you do with all the crops?
So with all the crop, we donated it.
Oh, wow.
So I donated it some to myself because I went and started a brand. It's called Nature's Root, which I'll talk about in a while. So started Nature's Root because I was like, fuck. So we had so many interviews at that point. I didn't want it to be for the industry a failure because I was like, fuck, this is if the one farm that harvested didn't do good the first year, no farmer is going to want to plant hemp.
Yeah.
No farmer. If they see this isn't successful, no farmer is going to want to plant hemp.
It's like this 2.2 acres is going to ruin it
It's
for the rest of the country.
Yeah. So I was like, fuck. So we made of it. And so we donated half of it was to a paper project. And it was to a company that's actually based out of Fort Lupton and Pure Hemp Technology. And they did paper trials. They made different types of paper and tissue paper, toilet paper out of the hemp stalks.
Epic.
Yeah, which was so cool because they're the only ones out of the industry that had that technology at the time. The other part of the crop that we donated to a company that studied and made hemp supercapacitors. And hemp supercapacitors are tiny fibers the size of your pinky nail, okay? They're little graphene plates, okay? And they're strains of this fiber.
Whoa.
So we have a bag of hemp that she's opening here.
So you have
It looks like hay.
It does.
So you have these strains, okay, like this, but they're laid like this and then like this, okay? Graphene, okay? It's laid a specific way, okay? And then it conducts energy 1,000 times more efficiently than the current graphene battery.
What the fuck?
Whoa.
1,000 times.
Even the battery problems are going to be fixed with hemp? I love this. Okay.
So
Wow.
we donated half our crop to that company, and the doctor, his name is Dr. Milton. You guys can look him up. He is phenomenal. He's out of Canada originally. He's in New York now. He patented the process of hemp supercapacitors.
Wow.
Through the study of our stocks, which was really, really cool.
Oh my God.
So that was donated.
Did you get any like royalties again?
No,
Because it was your.
No, it was
Damn
good.
it.
I know, fuck. But you know, it's all in the great thing.
It's spreading.
And that's what I had to
knowledge.
learn. Like I really thought every time I wasn't getting a piece of something that I was a part of. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
That you were being drained.
I was like
taken
fuck.
from. Yeah.
Like this is so unfair.
Yeah.
You know? And as a
like
female,
where's your equity?
I want
Where's
my
your
piece.
yeah. But as a female too, around a male dominant industry,
Totally.
I thought I was being like specifically pointed at. Like you're female, you're little, you don't have a strong voice.
Yeah.
You know, like all these things that I thought in my head I wasn't good enough for was really like all this self-hatred that I had towards myself and targeting I had towards myself, which then really amplified how I was being treated, you know, and how, because now, I mean, it's just shifted. How you hold yourself and how you present yourself in businesses all has to do with self-love. If you don't love yourself enough, you will be stomped on, trampled on, and lost.
Yes.
And as a
well.
business owner, you know, like if you're trying to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're trying to work for someone, fuck, dude, that's awesome. You know, at times I'm like, this entrepreneurial life is not for me, you know, and it's so hard. But like, I could never at the same time work for someone.
Totally.
Oh yeah.
So it is for me.
Yeah.
You know,
Same.
I'll endure it. But some people are totally okay with working for people.
I know.
And again, that's their purpose. That's their order. That's what they need to be doing. That's their shit.
That's how they give.
That's
to
how
the
they
rest
give
of
to
us.
us. That's how, you know, to the collective. That's their vibe.
Wow.
So anyways, the first crop was that. The seed in 2014, we had just harvested our first CBD crop. my boyfriend, Bodie, partner of 12 years. So originally, because I was doing hemp, I've been in the cannabis industry for a long time. I knew genetics very well. Bodie, he was breeding THC genetics. That was his business that he did when we met.
Okay.
He was growing. I had my edible business, which was called Tastee Yummees at the time. And that was the one that I sold to Cheapa Chews.
Okay.
So we had met. The way that we had started dating, I started buying hash from him to put into my edibles.
Okay.
And that's kind of how we like started our relationship on a serious term.
Okay.
And throughout that process, I was like, okay, Bodie, I need a grower to get me some seeds popping. I was like, this is CBD seeds. This is different. I'm sorry, it's not THC. I was like, but I promise it's going to be big. Like, just let's grow it. We can sell seeds. We can do 10 seeds for $100. That's how I was. This was 10 seeds for $100. Fuck. We can do 10 seeds for $100? Fuck. Let's do it. So we started selling the first batch of cherry wine, F1s.
Wow.
Okay. In genetics, okay, F1s is a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to take the time, but people that know listening, so they were F1s. We sold F1s. There were companies in Oregon, like Oregon CBD, and certain other companies, Charlotte's Web, different companies
Big people.
that had gotten a hold of our genetics.
Did they buy them or did they?
Well, Oregon CBD bought a 10-pack.
Okay.
But from their 10-pack, they created a whole line of
New
seeds.
genetic. Yeah.
And so anyways, that was a massive drain.
Wait, so is that is that legal to do?
So it was.
Okay.
And it is. Because you can't patent seeds.
Yeah.
You can't patent anything that is of the earth.
Wow.
You can patent a genetic makeup within the plant.
Okay.
But you can't patent that plant.
Okay.
You can do a sequence. So like if that genetic has a specific type sequence, great, you can patent that sequence, but fuck, you put that plant with something else or in a different element or in a different, environment and that sequence changes, it's gone.
Yeah.
So it's hard to patent something that's constantly so easy to change. And that's why the industry as a whole has had such a hard time being able to track and trace genetics specifically. And I really feel the THC industry is so much more respectful of people's hard work and art than they were in the CBD industry when we launched.
Okay.
Because people just took it and saw it as that business opportunity versus someone's time dedicated to growing a specific genetic, which is what they do in THC.
Right.
You know, like cookies.
I was like literally thinking of all the cookies.
Yeah,
genetics.
like everybody, oh my God, cookies. Like it's specific genetics. You know what I'm saying? It's, people like all they want to do is grow. They give them credit for creating a type of genetic.
Right.
Do you really think he created all those genetics?
No.
Exactly. His ass probably took fucking this seed and this seed, bred it one time. Okay, here you go. Boop. All you have to do is match it with something else. Change it just a little different.
Yeah.
And that's my strain.
So just do like one cross.
One cross.
And it's okay.
And you can tell the sequence versus putting time into it. So when you have like more stable genetics, F2s, F3s, when it's stable versus F1s, flip it, switch it, something so light can change it. Do you get what I'm saying?
So it'll like really easily have a new phenotype?
Yeah, it's just more stable the more that it's bred.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you stabilize it as you breed it.
Got
It like solidifies, like wears that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like
Whoa.
I don't know really how to say it,
I
but it
didn't
just
even
makes
know
it a
this
better plant every time you breed it that specific genetic.
Okay.
It just makes it more stable, more consistent.
Right.
'Cause every single time.
So you have like 5 cherry wine, and then I thought growers will like then pick the best one
Exactly.
out of that.
Yeah.
And then
It just makes it
like
more
then take
cherry
those
wine.
seeds, and then is that an F2? Like
So that would be seeds from the F1. What they would do is they would take those seeds and grow them. That would be your seed for F2.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
This makes more sense.
Yeah, so you got to grow that seed in order and then harvest that seed to have your Fs,
Okay.
2s, F3s,
Okay.
It's just every cycle bred more.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So anyways, we released F1s. Everybody got a hold of them. Everybody was able to twist them very easily. You can really tell our phenotypes when you see one of the original things is like that little pink frost. If you guys have seen the CBDs with the pink buds, that was originally ours. So that you can tell in anybody's plant, that was ours. Like we bred that. And so if that genetic or if that trait is in any plant out there of the CBD world of cherry, specifically a cherry line, that would be it from us.
And now time for a quick commercial break. MJ Arsenal makes the cutest mini rigs and bongs for dabs, flower, joints, and more. Their mini rigs have less air, which gives you more flavor, so you can get more out of your oil. Check them out at mjarsenal.com and use code McCarterGetsHigh. Well, I have a specific question, Dani, a little bit more with
Sorry.
Oh, no,
I'm a rambler.
No, you're fine. No, you're amazing. Yeah, you were doing so great. I'm learning so much. Well, I just still feel like there's so many misconceptions, and I don't even fully understand the differences between hemp and cannabis.
Oh, okay.
And how cannabis will have, they both have THC.
So all the same.
So it's like hemp is cannabis and cannabis is hemp.
It's just an arbitrary distinction by the government.
It's just how much THC is in it.
100%. So it's like if you so cannabis is its own plant. We got cannabis as the plant. And then we have all of the compounds, which are, THC, CBD, all the compounds. Then you have the terpenes and the flavonoids.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have like these wonderful things that make up the plant, but it's all the plant. Just like how we have, say you have 5-6 different kids in your family. It's the same thing with cannabis.
Phenotypes.
Yeah. One mama may have this, but this little baby may not have that exact type compound.
Right.
But it's still from mama cannabis.
Right.
Just because it doesn't have that exact same compound don't mean that it's not cannabis. And the reason why everybody's confused and the reason why the government got us so well is because they named it 2 different things.
Right. That's why I'm like, it's the same thing.
They got us. They trapped us.
Yeah,
they mentally fucked us with, they literally made up the word marijuana. First of all, talk about a made up word. They made that racially proven too.
Yeah.
Completely pushed to put the black man away.
Yep.
Back in the 30s
War
to try
on
and
drugs.
scare. Yeah. It was a whole push. So
a PR push, if you will.
And that's what COVID is. It's a PR push. That's why we are where we are. I mean, if people don't understand that that's how cannabis got fucking taken out of our whole reality is what they're doing right now, propaganda. I just want to hug you and say this is what's happening because this is exactly what's happening. This is exactly how they scared people. They're scaring people to put them in a box.
Yeah, and to segregate us
And it's exactly what they did with cannabis. They just amplified it now to humans.
Identity politics.
It's just the worst. But again, it's all divine. We need to get bad in order to get good. So we really had to lose everything in order to be able to expand and advance where we're going. It may seem rough now, but like when we get there, it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're there. We're in the process of moving there. But the difference between the two is nothing. It's 0.3 would be above. They consider it THC just to fuck us. Specifically for growing purposes because it is so hard in the CBD world to hit 0.3 THC consistently.
Right. Yeah.
On a large scale.
Yeah. I'm sure
they're really fucking us with that one. Yeah, if we even did 0.6, dude, we'd be winning. If they even give us up to 0.6, that 0.3 is so determined upon the heat.
Wow.
It's so determined upon the heat.
Wow.
Yeah. I just
so the hotter it is, the more...
The quicker it advances.
Wow, well, cool. Climate change is coming right now.
Yeah, and if you don't harvest...
So frustrating.
Oh, man.
Oh, God.
But good, though, because hemp is going to help absorb all the carbon.
Yeah,
so.
totally.
I know, yes.
Which is awesome, which will bring us to the Hempcrete.
Yes, I was just going to say, now we got to go to Hempcrete because, like, that's the main reason I had you on. We need to tell the people why Hempcrete is the future and why everyone needs to build everything with Hempcrete.
Oh, because it's just, listen
up.
Over in Europe, there are millions of buildings that have been built and have been around for thousands of years, hundreds of years, that are not damaged. And what happens with hempcrete over time is the hemp actually petrifies the lime.
What?
Okay,
And-
so you were saying right before we started recording that hempcrete is 3 ingredients.
Yes.
Okay.
Hemp, lime, and water.
Okay.
Yes.
And we have a sample in front of us, and it's sturdy for
Wait,
sure.
but-
Yeah, you can punch it.
Lime. Wait, what
ahead.
type of lime? Not like,
like-
lime juice from like a fruit.
No, like limestone.
Limestone.
Yeah, and a
okay.
specific type. There are different grades, like for concrete that are used.
Okay.
It's the same with hemp. This specific
Whoa.
one is a blend that is my friend's blend. His company is called Hemp Ecosystems.
Oh.
And this blend is from Europe. It's specifically made for hempcrete.
Just want to
I'm going to
touch
take
it.
building.
a picture of this for
Here you guys go. It's
for the show
so
notes.
dusty. Just be
If that's
very
okay.
careful.
Oh yeah, good call. We need to document and put it on the Insta.
Yeah, so I've heard about this concrete shortage that
Yes.
is being foretold. And
Wait, first of all, what is in regular concrete?
Concrete is lime and sand, sometimes glass,
right?
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So
And
it's
yeah,
a
and
sand
I've
but-
heard
but
the
also-
sand shortage. Yeah.
but it's also chemicals. They also put it's like
course.
how it's broken down. Is like the chemical release.
Okay.
Concrete is the most toxic element that we can put on our planet.
What?
And it's everywhere.
On it, like sitting on it. It's
Yeah.
the
Amazing.
most toxic thing.
Great work, humans.
So is this more breathable?
It is, and
Okay.
actually, if it were to rain, it would go through. It absorbs. So this would
Oh,
like expand, like you wouldn't see it expand, but it would like swell almost, kind of, and let the water drain through.
okay.
get swole?
Yeah, it gets swole for sure. Yeah.
Wow.
But it's also fire retardant. So it takes, on an average, 2.5 hours for the fire to even start charcoaling.
Wow, which is surprising because it looks like hay.
It looks like it would be very
so-
flammable.
Yeah. Do you have a torch?
Oh. Oh my god. Oh wait, the torch is downstairs. Should I go grab it?
Go grab it. Yeah, we
Okay.
can torch.
Let's torch this baby.
So, yeah, you can torch it, and that's the whole thing. So, when I saw that devastation over in Louisville and with the fires, the 1,000 homes,
Yeah, that went up like
in 2 hours.
Yeah, seconds. Yeah.
If homes were built out of hempcrete, those buildings would still be there.
Wow.
And everything inside the buildings would still be there because of how quickly they were able to put out the fire.
That's
They would have, and like there was a fire over in the Bronx about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
and one in Philadelphia right before that.
If those buildings were built out of hempcrete, it would have saved every person in that life because they would have had time to escape.
It's incredible.
2.5 hours, bro. I would
houses
move
out of-
my house out in 2.5 hours. I'd be like, bitch, I have time. I'm getting my load. You know,
Totally, it's like let's go rent a
light on
U-Haul.
me.
Let's go.
yeah. Like
Let me
I have
pack my
time.
4 biggest suitcases
Yeah.
with all my best stuff.
I think I unplugged my. Did I unplug myself?
Oh.
No, I didn't. Sorry. Okay, there we go. Yeah, okay.
Okay, I brought the torch.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we are torching hempcrete.
Just try not to get the equipment. Wow. It's like not even lighting. Like, what?
Watch.
It just goes out.
Goes right out. Oh my gosh.
How is every building not made with this? Like,
So this is literal hemp hay, lime, and water.
And water.
oh my god, I'm blown away. Like,
I did see
You'd think that would light something on fire. That was there for 30 seconds.
yeah,
at
we
least.
just torched it for a good
Yeah.
30, maybe
Yeah.
even a minute, and it just it just like fizzled right out.
Yeah.
yeah,
This
it's
is-
blackened but definitely unburnt. It's like let's
unburnt.
try it with the wall now. Let's
Yeah.
see if we can. No, I'm just
Right?
kidding.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like,
So it's fire retardant.
wow.
It doesn't house mold.
Wait, because hemp is like antibacterial, anti-mold, like fungal.
Antifungal.
Oh
So
my God.
These types of houses are ideal for, everywhere.
Humanity,
everywhere.
For every human on Earth.
But really in like weather-stricken areas, like super hot areas that are going to be, stricken to fires.
Yeah.
Over there, along the beaches that are hurricanes and, tsunamis and stuff.
But let's talk about the cost of hempcrete.
Yeah.
And how realistic it is to,
build a house out of hempcrete.
Right. And for normal people to like get this material and stuff like that. Like,
so I started a thing in 2017. It was called Grow Your Own Home. Okay. And so my mission is
a genius.
Is to educate people on how to grow their own home. This is really, I'm all about people becoming independent, of themselves, like be self-sufficient, like take care of yourself. And not dependent
upon the government.
That's the whole goal. So if you can grow your own home and build it in a year, do it,
Yeah.
So I went to Jamaica because I went down in Jamaica. I helped Jamaica establish their whole cannabis law and hemp law. That was in 2015. I did the first hemp farm in Jamaica, their first legal hemp farm ever in Jamaica. And went down there and did that. And then I was talking to the government and I was like, guys, like, let's build hempcrete homes. So it took me 4 years to get the meetings going with these guys and to be able to talk to the minister.
Casually talking with the government in Jamaica.
And I was, totally. And I was like, this is it. And so I presented a whole thing. I went and I gave away a hempcrete home in Jamaica. And I gave it to someone.
That's amazing.
Completely pro bono as an educational push to help the Jamaicans be able to understand that they only need, so this is the math ratios.
Okay.
It's 2 acres.
Okay.
Gives you 1,000 square foot of buildable material.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Basically, every acre is 500. I do by twos.
Okay.
So if you want to have a 2,000 square foot house, you grow 4 acres of hemp.
Wow.
Okay. It takes 4 months to grow. Okay. So you grow 4 and 4, you have 2,000 square feet of material. So you have the hemp. You go and decorticate it. Okay. So you have to decorticate your hemp stalks.
Wait, what does that mean?
Decorticate is a process where it takes the outer fiber, which is the bast, and breaks it off, like basically like peels it off from the inside woody stalk, which is considered the hurd.
Oh, yes. Okay. So yeah, this does look like the inside of like my cannabis plants too.
Yeah,
like when I harvest.
When you harvest it.
Yeah.
So if you took those
That's
and
why
dried
it's
that.
not like green. It's like.
Yeah, it's white.
Yeah.
But if you took and peeled the fibers off, dried it, hardened it, chopped it, that would be considered a type of decortication. But there's machines.
And this looks like, it would look like that then.
It would, yes. So the machine puts it through, peels off the fiber, leaves you with little chopped bits like this. It can be sized in different sizes.
Okay.
So I have a company that's a cat litter company. Our cat litter size is about a little...
It's like this mid.
It's like the mid, but very consistent. Like there's no fibers.
It's cat litter made with hemp?
Yeah.
Genius.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Everything can be made with hemp, people.
Everything.
We can't stress this enough.
Yeah, everything. Literally everything.
Oh my God.
So, yeah, so you just decorticate it.
My mind is just being
and
blown.
then you get the proper ratios, which is usually like a even ratio, like third. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's a little bit more water. You need a little bit more water. Sometimes you need a little bit more lime, like depending on where you are.
And you can just like throw a little water in, stir it.
Well, so for a house, you would need all the proper equipment. Like you'd need the proper, mixing barrels and packing tools and stuff like that. But if you're like doing home experiments, for sure. Like that's what we did with this sucker. You know, I mean, like home experiments are totally doable. But if you're building a house, you're definitely going to want to have like all of the proper mixing tools. Like if you were to build a house, it would take, anywhere from 2 weeks to a month, depending on how many people are helping you build the house. Mm-hmm. And it would take anywhere between 6 to 10 weeks to cure.
Okay.
So you need it to, and that's dependent upon where you live. If you live more in a humid area or more of a dry area, it's just going to be the cure time.
Okay.
If you're building it in winter versus summer, it's going to be the cure time.
If it's raining?
If it's raining, exactly.
And
it's all going to be down to the cure time.
What's like the insulation like? How well does it insulate heat and stuff?
So it's perfect insulation. It's an R5 value. It's just fantastic. You can, it's its own insulation.
Wow.
So like you don't need hemp plus insulation.
This
is the insulation.
Bag, yeah.
And whatever structure you build, it keeps temperature inside. So like if it's 40, if it's negative 12 outside, it's still like 68 inside, like all the time.
Wow.
If it's 100 degrees outside, it's like 68 inside. It like keeps
so it's like
temperature.
A cave.
Yeah,
like
it's perfect.
Like cool in summer, warm in winter. And it can do
proper sound. Like you can build a like a sound dome, and the sound is phenomenal with it too.
Okay.
Yeah. My friend builds domes out of them, and the sound is like it's like perfect.
Wow.
We need to get Boulder to take down the shell, the band shell, and do a new one with hemp.
Seriously. I mean, you totally. Listen, hemp can be, depending on the medium that you build it with, you don't always have to build it with lime.
Okay.
You can build it with like adobe.
Oh.
You can do hemp adobe. There's a hemp adobe blend out there. The gentleman that created it actually just passed away not too long ago. He created the blend, but he did create it and it's out there.
Wow.
So hemp adobe is an option. It's the most beautiful.
For all your New Mexico friends.
Oh man, it's the most beautiful. It's so
I love
beautiful.
Adobe homes.
And it looks like adobe. What I have in store is we're working with the Lakota tribe and a couple different Native American tribes to be able to go in and build, 50 to 100 houses as like a prototype, for them to then move into moving for those full time versus working with like, trailer park trailers and stuff that's just is really unhealthy and toxic to live in, and it doesn't stay forever. This will only get better over time. You only have to build it once.
And I can't believe the like mold, like the mold aspect, because
it's amazing.
Like how
flammability
mold has been affecting like humans for hundreds
forever.
Yeah, forever.
Yeah,
like
forever.
Wow. And just with like black mold.
Dude.
And
people don't know that they're actually sick from mold.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And then it really starts affecting your psycho.
Yes.
Like
and you can like hallucinate and shit.
100%. I have had some friends that have been sick, had to go to the hospital. They didn't know why they're sick, and it ended up being because of black mold.
In their house?
In their house.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and they just didn't know, but they were like fucking dying sick.
I've heard of this.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
so
Jesus.
It saves lives. I mean,
yes.
I'm just stoked. I'm very grateful you guys were able to let me come here and talk about and like express just everything about the plant, and on top of that, which is much deeper, because this plant is multi-dimensional. Like I said, it's much deeper than just growing this thing and building with it. It's like, it's a healer.
Yeah.
She's here to help us heal on multi-levels,
She
not
really
just in the
does.
aesthetic world,
Yeah.
but in our hearts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. This has been so enlightening.
Thanks, guys.
And healing. Yes.
Thanks, guys.
I really can't thank you enough for coming. I'm so happy we were so persistent. Where can people find you? Can you list all of your, if you can do Instagram, email, whatever.
Okay. You can just reach out to me on Instagram. I get way too many emails and way too many calls already as it is. So I'll just keep it at Instagram.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. That's probably the best. And then, my websites will be linked.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Dani,
good,
you are so insightful. We will have you back anytime, and we will definitely have you back soon.
Definitely. Cool. Yeah, we can talk about more things.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I could talk forever.
I know. I love
about
it.
hemp. So,
yes.
I mean, really.
Anything
you want to know.
It seems like you are in a lot of different directions too. So it's like
do it all.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Stay high.